2014 Epstein email shows Satoshi Bitcoin as a VIP guest at Jeffrey Epstein's event. Another email shows Epstein funding the very developers who maintain Bitcoin's core. And in 2018, he's lobbying the Trump administration on crypto tax policy. What was Jeffrey Epstein's real plan with Bitcoin? And did he donate $850,000 to change the direction of the world's most famous cryptocurrency? Just few days back in November 2025, the US House Oversight Committee released unsealed documents from Jeffrey Epstein's state. And ever since, Bitcoin is getting bearish day by day. Understand this, these aren't just random mentions of Bitcoin. We are talking about millions in funding, secret meetings with crypto's biggest names, and Epstein's fingerprints all over the development of Bitcoin during a critical period. Let's break down exactly what Epstein was trying to do with Bitcoin and who he worked with, why it matters, and the questions that everyone is asking around. Let's get into it. First, let's establish the facts. Did Jeffrey Epstein actually fund Bitcoin's development? Yes. Here is how. Between 2013 and 2017, Epstein donated roughly $850,000 to MIT's Media Lab. About $525,000 of that went specifically to the Digital Currency Initiative, or DCI for short. Now, this may sound less significant, but here is where it gets really important. In 2015, something major happened in Bitcoin's world. The Bitcoin Foundation, which had been paying the salaries of Bitcoin's core developers, completely collapsed. Board members resigned, scandals erupted, and the foundation declared bankruptcy. Suddenly, the people actually writing the code for Bitcoin had no funding. That's when the MIT's Media Lab swooped in, using Epstein's money as seed funding. They recruited 3 critical Bitcoin core developers: Gavin Anderson, Vladimir, and Corey Field. Now, these aren't just random programmers. Anderson was literally handed control of Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto himself back in 2011. In an April 2015 email, MIT Media Lab director Joy Ito wrote to Epstein, "Used gift funds to underwrite this, which allowed us to move quickly and win this round." He called it a big win for us. In other words, Epstein money actually helped MIT to take control of Bitcoin's development at exactly the moment when everything was falling apart. And here's the controversial part. After this funding shift, Bitcoin's development changed direction. The focus actually shifted from Bitcoin being the digital cash for everyday transactions and toward Bitcoin being a store of value. Some people think this was natural evolution, but others do believe that it was a deliberate hijacking of Satoshi's original vision. But Epstein wasn't just writing checks. He was hosting meetings with crypto's elite. The documents reveal that Epstein held Bitcoin discussions at his Manhattan townhouse. Who was there? Brock Pierce, then chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation, and would later co-found Tether, the world's biggest stablecoin. Larry Summers, former Treasury Secretary, and Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder. And yes, Brock Pierce also visited Epstein's island. He's denied any deep involvement, saying their interactions was just about crypto at events. But the connection is undeniable. Now, here is where it gets really wild. A September 2014 email lists potential VIP guests for a UN climate event in New York. Guess who was there on the list? Satoshi, the creator of Bitcoin. Did this meeting actually happen? We don't know for sure. But the fact that Epstein's team thought they could invite Satoshi means they believed that they either knew who he was or had a way to reach him. That alone has sent the crypto community into a shock. People are genuinely asking, was Epstein connected to Satoshi Nakamoto? Some are even speculating he was Satoshi, though there is zero evidence for that. What we do know is that Epstein was closely linked to Bitcoin's inner circle than anyone could imagine. And here is something that most people don't know. Epstein was actively trying to shape the crypto regulation. In 2018, he was emailing Steve Bannon, trying to influence Trump's policy on cryptocurrency taxes. He pushed for voluntary disclosure of crypto gains and wanted clarity on whether spending Bitcoin, like buying furniture, should be a taxable event. He also warned that without proper regulation, Bitcoin could become a Ponzi scheme. In September 2018, he wrote that crypto needed international agreements to avoid collapse. And in June 2019, he was criticizing Facebook's Libra stablecoin project. Think about that. A convicted offender was lobbying White House advisors on the future of digital currency policy. Why? What was his angle? Was he trying to protect his own interest, or he was trying to shape the narrative? We're not sure. The document shows he viewed crypto regulation as a strategic issue and was actively building political influence in Washington. And now let's address the elephant in the room, the conspiracy theories. Social media is absolutely exploding with speculation asking if Bitcoin was used for illicit activities in Epstein's network. Others are worried that this revelation will crash Bitcoin's price, with predictions of a drop to $50,000 or even zero. There is even talks that BlackRock might dump their Bitcoin holdings due to reputational risk. Here is what we need to separate. Epstein did not create Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created in 2008 and launched in 2009, years before any of this funding was involved. What Epstein did was fund developers during a critical transition period in 2015 to 2017. Does that taint Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's code is open source. Anyone can verify that. The developers that Epstein funded were already established figures in crypto community. And Bitcoin itself is decentralized, that no one person could control it or shape it. But what about the psychological impact? If people believe that Bitcoin is connected to Epstein's criminal network, it could affect adoption, regulation, and trust. That's the power of narrative in crypto. As for price impact, Bitcoin has survived much worse. MTGOX, Silk Road, FTX, Corona. In November 2025, people are watching closely, but we haven't seen a major crash